See, don't look at romance with people. That's very, very small. Don't look at that. Our interaction with the world is romance. Our attitude is romance. When it becomes two people, it's suffocation. Especially when ownership comes. Hey, I own you, you should walk in these lines. If not, I will reject you. Then it's threat and fear. It's an attitude where you love life, you love people, you love situations, you love everything, even if it is bad. And that will give you great stability. Nobody can disturb you easily. We'll have no fear of anything. Death is not a fear. Why should we be afraid of death? Anyway, we'll die. So we can delete many, many fears with this attitude. In the path of liberation, fear has zero value, no value. The sign of your spiritual evolution is fearlessness. Acceptance, fearlessness, the attitude of romance, that will keep you young. You will always be vibrant and alive in life. When the root is love, any expression is okay. When the root is anger, hatred, jealousy, no expression is okay. If the root is love, you are free. You are already free. If you are continuously in the state of love, I told you earlier, romantic. Romantic is a constant state where you are in romance with life. See, don't look at romance with people. That's very, very small. You know, between two people, romance, that's a very small aspect. Our whole romance idea is about people. Don't look at that. Our interaction with the world is romance. Krishna is an epitome of that, representation of that. His whole life is romance, divine romance. But we always think Radha and Krishna, that is romance. Not so. Our attitude is romance. It's an attitude where you love life, you love people, you love situations, you love everything. Even if it is bad, you experience. So when there is sorrow, you dive deep into sorrow and completely bathe in it. So when you come out of sorrow, it's complete happiness. See, sorrow is a situation where you are restricted, in your mind is restricted and you feel unhappy about something. But when you come out of it, the happiness has great brilliance. It is like a sun coming out of the clouds. When you are happy, be completely happy. Mostly when we are happy, in a situation of happiness, we will bring the old sorrows. I say, I can't be really happy, how can I? This happens in the mind, right? We think like that, how can I be happy? So, I am supposed to be in sorrow. But how come I am happy? This happens in life. You know, many situations bring you such situations where it's a test whether you can rise above. It's a test if you can rise above, and you can. You can rise above. How? Shift your attitude to romance. Romance sorrow. Romance happiness. And don't ever restrict it to a human relationship. That also is romance. Romance means it's an attitude. It's a bhav, your attitude. And that will give you great stability. Nobody can disturb you easily. Nobody can abuse you. Even if somebody abuses you, I look like a donkey, you will be romantic, you know. You feel great about it. Amazing. Oh, he recognized me as a donkey. Good. You know? Various situations like that, you will not be affected. You know, a Danish author is creating a book called 10 Modern Day Spiritual Masters, in which he considers me as one. So he asked me a question, if you die tonight, what will be the last thing you will do? I said, I'll sleep. No, there's nothing to do, right? Anyway, you're going to die in the night, so last thing what you do is sleep well. So actually, we'll have no fear of anything. Death is not a fear. Why should we be afraid of death? Anyway, we'll die. So we can delete many fears with this attitude. You know, and also people betraying you, people cheating you, talking bad about you, all these things. You can handle it much easier if you are in the state of romance. You know, state of freedom. It's a state of freedom. Romance is a freedom. It's not, see, when it gets binding, when ownership happens, then it becomes contaminated. When there is a resistance, when there is ownership, it suffocates. There is suffocation. When it becomes two people, it's suffocation. Especially when ownership comes. Hey, I own you, you should walk in these lines. If not, I will reject you. Then it's threat and fear. So there is no harmony there. But attitude towards life, it can be tremendously harmonious. So other people's weaknesses, other people's expressions, situations, it doesn't affect you so much. Even if it affects, it's short-lived. I believe that this is the right attitude for a spiritual person. Krishna is a prime example of divine romance. But the poetry, they have always talked about Radha and Krishna, etc. That's the only thing we can understand. When it is romance, there should be a partner. It's not true. Better not to have a partner. Then it's overflowing. That's why in most of the stories, Ravan is a demon, very bad guy. I think he's a very smart guy, because he only wanted Ram to be next to him when he dies. He is actually taking an insurance, guaranteeing moksha. Can you do that in life? Can you ensure an avatar stands by you at the time of your death? So he's an amazing, intelligent man. Very intelligent man. A very smart guy. But we don't understand this, right? He was the priest to do a puja for Ram to win the war. So this is all signs of his complete detachment. Imagine if he was selfish to that extent, as we understand. He would have played with the right? He would not have put enough things in the fire. He could have played, right? But he didn't do that. He did it properly well. Do you know who the Kauravas, the opponents, Krishna and in the Kurukshetra war? The Krishna was with Pandavas, right? Five brothers, and Kauravas were 100 brothers, and the entire army. I mean, they had a huge battalion. This was a small army. Do you know who Kauravas used to check with to check the time, the auspicious time? When should we start the war? The astrological thing. Do you know who he was consulting? Sahadev, one of the brothers of Pandavas, opposition. See? And he always gave right instruction. If you start the war at this time, you will be successful. If you do it in this way, you will be successful. He is sitting in the opposite side. But when somebody approaches you, you have to perform your dharma. Don't worry who is approaching you. That's the equanimity. When somebody approaches you for something, even if it's your enemy, do your job. So what gets deleted there? Enmity gets deleted there. When enmity is deleted from an enemy, he's a friend. It's a state getting deleted. So when the state of enmity is deleted, then the rest is friendship. Being romantic is a great idea, and don't think that it needs one partner. It's not so, you see. It's an attitude, and that attitude will give you liberation, or will give you freedom. Otherwise, it's binding. We are always expecting. Expectation is very, very terrible, really. The more you expect, the more disappointment. What is the cause of disappointment? Mostly expectation. I expect you to behave in a particular way. If you did not believe, I am unhappy. How will you behave? You behave as you are. I cannot say that you should behave as I like. But the world is like that. Like Hitler said, I make men in my own image or I destroy them. So that's the typical dictator's attitude. Otherwise, you don't need fear. In our path, in the path of liberation, fear has zero value, no value. The sign of your spiritual evolution is fearlessness. Acceptance, fearlessness, the attitude of romance, that will keep you young. You will always be vibrant and alive in life. And that attitude is that towards life. You are accepting life as it comes, and in a bit of enthusiasm. Romance has an enthusiasm. Yesterday I spoke about anticipation, right? Yes. What is the power of anticipation? What is inside anticipation? Concentration. So this is one of the main things in Patanjali's Yoga Sutra also, but not explicitly said like this. But anticipation has its strength. This is concentration. Automatically you are concentrating. Likewise, romance to the life, when you're romancing life, you are always young. And then you are always in the present. You are enjoying and experiencing life as it comes. Sometimes good, sometimes bad. But what happens? Storage will be less. Denial, resistance, oppression. Resistance is one of the major cause for diseases. We always think about that disease or resist it or fear it. They're all same. What happens then? You attract it. Instead, you romance it. Okay, this is happening. Like I was seeing a award-winning film in the flight, so in which one woman is bit disfigured because she had an accident. So one of the colleagues is telling her, I don't come to the office because of you. You're so ugly. I cannot look at you. It's so terrible because I feel I can't work here. So she said, she laughed. She said, you know what? This is my strength and protection. I am really protected from people like you. I was amazed at that very beautiful discussion, that language. And she said, this is my strength. My ugliness is my strength. And the way it happened, suddenly the audience is shocked, the way it's said, that she's coolly saying, this is exactly, I'm protected from all of you. So that attitude, all these things are from life, We can have all the right attitudes.